welcome to Fireside and Fairy Tale here in Apple Tree Cottage. We are in the Scottish borders. This is Flosstube number 43, and today is Tuesday the 4th of November 2025, and it's lovely to see you again. A quick thank you to all of you who took note. Last episode I was mentioning that another YouTuber in UK had noticed that his subscriber numbers were just really falling, and I thought, well, that's what's happening to me too. He did in fact get in touch with YouTube, but certainly I want to thank you for just checking that you are still subscribed, because there was an issue with the subscribers being taken off without their knowledge. So hopefully that's resolved, but certainly my subscriber numbers are substantially risen, and thank you for that. Haven't quite reached 2,000 yet, but you know, the thing is to be enjoying it as we go, and I hope that you are enjoying it. Obviously, you wouldn't be here unless you were. Now, today I'm going to start with knitting, and then I will go on to my samplers. Really, because the progress in the last fortnight has definitely been with the knitting. Wasn't planning that particularly, but that's the way it's fallen out. So first of all, I would like to share with you my next finished garment, which I have been working on for a couple of months now. And I'm using, or I have used, Maud by Rowan, and it is alpaca and wool. 50% alpaca, 50% wool, and I am finding that it is a lovely a warm garment to be wearing. I've worn it a couple of times, and this is in I don't know quite, I think it is just, I don't know if there's a colour number or not, but it is brown, and I have called, it's shade 016. Shade 016. A nice brown, really for the autumn, and already getting into the winter now, but still it's being done. And the pattern I used was 116 out of the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, so it's lace. And I did, it is charted, so I do translate charts into my own method of reading off quickly. I usually use very large cardboard pieces, just so as I'm able to read something off quickly. There we are in the actual book. Mine does not particularly look like that because I've used a much larger needle. I used a 450, and it's come out in a rather more open lace, as you can see here. And I'm really, really, really pleased with this. Now, what did I do? Well, for the back, I did a big rectangle, and I just knitted straight up the rectangle. There you are. There's the rectangle. It has been blocked, and that did make a big difference. So a big wide rectangle for the back. Cast on the same number of stitches for the front, but just reduced a little bit and curved around to get the neckline. And the two sleeves are quite short. They're quite short. There, two short sleeves. Ribbing at the wrist, and at the base we have the curve of the actual lace pattern. Lace curves beautifully at the hem. If you just if you go straight into the lace pattern, it has a lovely curvy effect, which I absolutely love. I think they're just so pretty for hems. So what happens is it's almost like a cape. Because of the short sleeves, there's a lot that just sort of tucks around my body and keeps me toasty warm. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I did add just a bit of a rib on the neckline, so it does actually come up quite high on my neck, which I like to keep me cozy. I like my neck warm in the winter. So I completed that, and I'm very pleased with that one. And then I was making, and I did mention it last time, Fairytale Tammies. This is the book that I mentioned that I was using by Alice Starmore. I wonder if, in fact, because she's Shetlandic, whether it's actually pronounced Sturmer. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was Sturmer rather than Starmore, which is a very anglicised version. So apologies if I'm not getting your name right. And I've had this book for absolutely years. I learned circular knitting from this book, and certainly this is how I gradually learned the colour knitting and Fair Isle. And if I can give you the, let me just do it like that, the photograph of the tammy. So she does give the pattern, she gives the directions of the tammy. So my first tammy, which is for me, was done in pink. I wanted a pink one to go with my angel, this is not called Angel Wings, I can't remember. Oh, by the way, I've named this Walnut Wings, just to go back to this. All my lace, I have an Angel Wings, which I wore in the summer. This is called Walnut Wings. Walnut because it's bright. And it's certainly adding to my collection. Okay, so my tammy to keep my head warm in the winter time. I did vary the pattern. I didn't follow her pattern, but this is Fair Isle. That is actually out of her book as a Fair Isle pattern. They all are actually. They're all from the book. And then the way to decrease, you start outside and you come in, following that structure on it. These are some of the colours I used. Jameson and Smith, who are in Shetland, 2-ply jumper weight, which is one of my absolute favourite wools. It's 100% wool. It's just so soft and just a lovely colour range as well. I advocate that you get the colour chart, which they will send you, and then you get a very good idea rather than just off a screen what the colours are. So these are some of the colours I used for the pink, and I would say it was slightly wobbly. It's a slightly wobbly shape. It is not without its slight, I was learning, put it this way, this was a learning curve. However, as I was knitting this, one of my daughters said, oh, I'd love a tammy. So I stopped that one, and so I've knitted this one up for her birthday, and I hope she's not watching. And this is my second attempt, so it's pretty flawless. I had got the idea of what the structure really is, and the size of needle as the needle change happened, and also just managing to successfully integrate a choice of patterns within the actual bonnet, within the tammy, and it's the real deal. It's all from the book, and you can see they like this type of ribbing on it, and my daughter had actually requested a grey and red tammy, and it's quite interesting because what's coming up as blue is actually a shade of grey. and that's actually called a brown grey. So there's so many colours, aren't there? So many colours of grey and all the rest of it. But I am pleased with it. It has been blocked on a dinner plate. It's been washed and blocked on a dinner plate, and it will be wrapped and sent to her for her birthday, and I hope she likes it and wears it. So these were my finishes for this week, which is why I wanted to show you the knitting first, and now we will go on to the little bits of additions that I've made to my samplers. So merrily we welcome the spring blackbird designs. I'm keeping going with this and following through with me, I hope, and perhaps some of you are actually stitching it. I am stitching it on Picture This Plus 36 count Oaken, and I have begun the tree on the bottom. There we are. Begun the tree on the bottom, and that's it. That's all I've done on this. And there's the whole thing. So I'm really not following any particular order in this at all. It really is jumping around in this one. And there is a mix. There is Classic Colourworks thread, Gentle Arts Weeks Dye Works, and I've added a couple of colours of my own in DMC. So there seemed to be quite a lot of trees in the last week or so. Dutch Beauty is coming on, and I just managed to do the tree as well, a little bit. This is huge, it's vast. I love doing this. If you haven't, and you want a really big project, this is one that is very satisfying because there is a sense of order about it when you're stitching it, and the motifs are not vast, so you're going to get a feeling of progress as you're doing this. There are 13 colours. Isn't that amazing? 13. Isn't that amazing? It looks like there are about 113 in that. And DMC, this is what I'm using. It is a beautiful Dutch beauty, and the year 1790. So it's quite nice to go back a bit, because I think everything else is either 19th or 20th centuries that I'm actually stitching. I think I have one more that's also Dutch that is as early as that. So it's just amazing. You pick up another chart, you pick up another sampler to do, and you can you be in a different century, a different country, a different little girl who originally stitched it, and I'm amazed by the different feelings that you get when you're stitching. So this is where I've got to, and this is the tree. This is the tree that I'm doing now, and just a few leaves and a bit of, but you can see how very calm. It's a very calming one. It's really calming. Yes. Love that, absolutely love that. In my custom made Edwardian zipperless bag, I use ribbons. I love ribbons. I do not like zips. I never have. We were taught how to make zips, put zips in skirts when I was learning sewing at school, and machine sewing, and no, not my scene. But I love ribbons. Made a little needle case to go with it. So there's just a whole sense of, oh, I don't know, you feel very proper when you're stitching this one. So if you want to feel very proper, then Dutch Beauty possibly is the one for you. Now, another one that is a blackbird design, and this is home from for the holidays, and that's also included if you're interested in cardinal birds. And I am very pleased to tell you that I have finished the star here. That star is now being completed. I'm loving this because it's 2 threads over 2, and it's just a chunkier feel. I'm not worried about twisted threads. That doesn't bother me at all. And it's sort of Nordic in feel. They're quite different, these motifs, to anything else that I have on board at the moment. And again, very Christmassy. I am doing it on 36 count Edinburgh Winter Moon, and I am using there are actually only 4 colours in this. So again, very restricted colour range, which actually I'm liking. But you need quite a few of them. Fool's Gold by Classic Colourworks. Endive or Endive, that's Gentle Art. Calico Kitty, Classic Colourworks, that's a lovely, lovely, lovely red. It's got quite a lot of faded thread in it as well, which is nice. I like that. And then the other gold is Heirloom Gold. Here we are. Heirloom Gold. And so just the 4 there, but then you need double because you're doing 2 threads over 2. This will not be finished, obviously, this Christmas. There's a lot to go on this, but maybe by next Christmas. See, it's just lovely. It's just lovely. And I better show you the original, so as you know where we're aiming at. Christmas Garden. I probably won't put that writing in. I'm not very happy with that rather heavy Gothic type of script. So, and I'll possibly choose a line. In fact, it's just come to me now. I know what I'm going to put, so that's a secret surprise. But it is it's a line from a very, very well-known Christmas carol, Christmas hymn, and so I'll put that in. Okay, so moving on, Anne Grant is happening a little bit. This is my Edwardian work bag with the pocket. Cathedral window patchwork. Love it, love it, love it. And here we are. Now, I started this, as you probably know, on a piece of fabric that unfortunately wasn't quite big enough. And so I've had to start again. And I decided to go with summer khaki, which I have dyed myself. I put it in spinach water, and then I did some scooshing around with the watercolor brush, and this is the result. And I did ask my viewers last time whether they preferred the original fabric, in which case I would have bought a larger piece. Have I got it here? Yes, this is the original, which is Vintage Country Mocha. That's as far as I got. And I would have bought another one of these, but everyone, it was there was no problem telling me that. Everyone said no, it's this one to go with, much calmer. So I have taken the border right along, so that I'm absolutely look Look how much fabric I have. I've taken the border right across. That's where that finishes, and then you get the other side coming down. So I've stitched right across, and then I've started on the green, and I'm loving it. But again, there's no particular rush over this one either. I mean, it's taken over a year. It's taken me over a year to get properly started on this one, what with one thing and another, and which is odd because I'm really love stitching it. Here we are with a picture. It's Anne Grant 1829 by Shakespeare's Peddler, and Teresa Vinette has stitched this. This is her model here, and the original here, and then this is the model that she stitched. So I didn't want to have quite such a light background on mine. I wanted to have green, and I think the thing that attracted me to this was the border, that lovely, absolutely beautiful, brilliant pink. But I would say that it is the result is definitely going to be calmer, and I think more satisfying. So that is Anne Grant. And then finally, we have my one thread a day. Most days I have managed to do a thread. These are, this is Red Ribbon Sampler by Sampler Cove. And this is a gigantic piece. It has two colours. So we're doing quite limited colour range at the moment, and I'm really enjoying that. So the colours are Gloriana, and they are both Gloriana, and it is Crimson, which is gorgeous, and Cranberry, equally gorgeous. And this is what I think really makes this utterly stunning, because you have the almost oscillation between the two colours on the actual stitching itself. Just lovely. Now I've worked these 4 motifs along here. That's what I've done, and a bit more border. That was my practice shot up there. So loving this. Why am I loving it? It's so different. It really makes me focus. You know, I do it first thing in the morning, and just after breakfast, and I really find that the quiet, the peace and quiet, no interruptions at that time of day, are absolutely necessary for this, because it really is intricate, and even if you're one hole off, you're going to end up in trouble. Why have I not done the outside border, therefore? Maybe I should. Maybe I should do the outside border. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I should really just be sensible and go for the outside border first, so that I know that I'm going to match up? Or will I do it in boxes, which is what I'm doing at the minute? Quite a thought, isn't it? Again, I would recommend this if you want to arrive at the ability of laser focus and very repetitive designs. Though I have done the 4 motifs there, and then it changes again. So I don't think you're ever going to get tired, because even the border is different. Even the borders are different. And I have to say, the other thing that I like about this at the minute, in this time in my life, is that, as you know, I'm deeply into the learning the Shetland lace, and there are definite similarities when it comes to design ideas between the lace, the repetitive lace, and this type of non-figurative sampler. Having said that, there are 2 panels of Assisi work which are birds, so it's not totally without some sort of nod to nature, but it really is. It's very formal, and I suppose you could say there are plant structures in here as well. And again, it's not unlike the Fair Isle colour knitting. So this is really where I seem to be in my creative walk at this time in life. I never thought I would. If you've been following me, you'll know that actually I paint, and I painted all sorts of things, but painting still life, landscape, it's almost like jumping off a trapeze. You hold your breath and then you go, and there's a huge amount of creativity and of course of yourself put into that, and a lot of flourishes, a lot of free flow. I would have thought a couple of decades ago that this was astronomically boring and dull, and who on earth could possibly like this type of thing? And here I am now, about 25 years later, thoroughly enjoying and appreciating this type of design, which is extremely ordered, very disciplined, and there's no space for your own flourish in this at all. It's a very disciplined art form. So there we are. That's a few of my thoughts this week, a shorter one this time around. And as we come up to Christmas, I have more birthdays to consider as well. Advent, not quite sure when I'll be back. Maybe be 3 weeks rather than 2, but we'll see how we go. And obviously I will come back when I feel I have something decent to show you. So happy stitching, happy knitting, happy watching, and see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.